champion bias, you know, like I want to believe that this team really wants to play clean Rocket League right now, and we'll see how they do going up against G2, a team that's been through a lot of trial and tribulation down through the years and is finally having a wonderful season here. See if they can keep it up. We've got G2 in the orange and we've got NRG in the blue, a close one there at the beginning. But NRG able to hold it off on the goal line. Now Garrett G over to Justin. Nice extension in the midfield. Justin chases this one, feathering the boost. JNaps gets up just in time to block the shot as the great Titans of Rocket League clash.
Turbo just pre-jumped that touch from Garrett G, and now NRG's on the wrong side, and he's able to get back and make a save off a beautiful shot from JNaps. I'm used to seeing Justin go hero mode and do some crazy things. I did not expect Turbo, of all people, to try that.
Turbo's making the attempt here, nearly makes the own goal, the characteristic shot of his name, but not going to happen just yet. JNaps now with the attempt. Rizzo, a demolition in net. Turbo's got them beating the midfield high on the ceiling. Rizzo, this bounces off of his hood. JNaps will try to take control, but really slow to gather this one up in the corner. Gets it back out to Rizzo, and that's past two NRG players. Is now all up to Turbo, but this one will be easy for him to block. JNaps, shot for the midfield. Chicago with a redirect, blocked by NRG. Now Turbo onto the wall once more. Rizzo makes contact. They'll go across that goal line with nobody taking the shot. 3:30 on the clock. Both teams still looking for that first goal here in game one.
And Chicago actually has an uncontested shot. Justin stuck in boost, so color me impressed. G2 have managed to box NRG in here, and there's finally a miss, but he misses the double tap. Chicago cannot force it past.
No!
You're kidding! How did he get all
happened?
of those?
That thing bounced off of the shooter as it came in. Turbo makes another save, backflip. Here comes Chicago onto the backboard, and Justin sends it away. So much pressure from G2, but everything just barely off. And we'll see if NRG can now break out on a counterattack score. That's usually what will happen here. Chicago pops it high, but there's Turbo into the midfield, up to Garrett. There's the infield pass, past JNaps. Chicago makes the stop, and they will stave off the immediate counterattack. Can NRG get a siege of their own going here? My goodness, G2 with literally all the chances in the world, none of them any good. We approach halftime still 0-0. Rizzo with a miss and Justin with the breakout. Now into the corner. Pushing up against Chicago. Chicago just holds him down. Garrett G up against Rizzo, back down again. JNaps into the corner and Turbo. A nice extension. Justin now to Garrett. JNaps as the counter. Chicago against Turbo Pulsa. Back down in the midfield. 1:58 on the clock. Nobody on the board. As what has, you wouldn't know it though if you were to look at the shot line here. With 11 from G2 right now. Still 2 shots left to go.
And here I was thinking G2 wouldn't be able to really box him in. Boy, what a game one from G2. And it's still 0-0.
Whiffs on both sides. Justin with a chance. Over to Garrett G, but JNaps, the interception. Turbo Pulse with a nice adjustment into the corner. JNaps quickly adjusts again and is back straight down to the midfield. Justin up against Rizzo. Rizzo wins the touch, and now Garrett G into the corner. JNaps off of one, back down onto Justin's hood. Chicago gets one stop, tries to get two, but Garrett G muscles it through. Now trying to set up his team, see if he can get him a good scoring opportunity, but the ball has been on the backboard so many times, rarely though lurking or like just hanging in the air in front of the goal. A touch is enough to stop one, but Rizzo's touch is so wide. And now NRG, the quick transition. JNaps over to the edge. And we're into the final minute, and still nobody on the board.
Yeah, Rizzo needed that power shot. Turbo kind of just dripped one into the middle, looking for Chicago to the other side. Garrett G off the backboard. Just JNaps comes up empty. Rizzo throws it out to the corner, gets the bounce, and Chicago will finally punch it home. Takes 4.5 minutes, 16 shots, and they finally find the back.
And that will give us a kickoff to reset things. Does that change how this game goes? Because NRG immediately bounce back, oftentimes in games where the last goal comes late, the follow-up goal. The equalizer is quick. And it just takes NRG with a reset, but we'll see what happens here. G2 might have everything they need. Getting pressure on the backboard once more. 2 defenders bite. Is Turbo Pulse able to get back around this one on time? Nearly does. Gets it back down to Garrett G, but he's got to adjust. He's only got 12 boost over the top of 1. He won't have anything left to make the push. 10 seconds left. Turbo over 1. JNaps lofted. Justin and Garrett both too aggressive. Have to quickly change. Turbo Pulse now trying to beat JNaps to the corner. Here comes Justin. No, back down, and that'll be G2 taking game number 1. They knocked on the door so many times, and finally it opened.
And you know what I was thinking? I was like, man, if NRG make it to overtime here, talk about a spirit breaker of a game for G2. And if you're a G2 fan, you are ecstatic that you pulled that one off. Because if you put up 16 shots from NRG, goes 0-0 into overtime, and then somehow Justin or Garrett G or Turbo just pulls a style goal on you and you lose game 1, I would be so irritated. I'd be so angry.
The echoes of game 1 of the Season 7 Grand Finals would just ring too true. If a buzzer beater sent you to overtime and then you lost it in overtime, I feel like the series would, to some degree, be over at that point. But no, G2 managed to put up a valiant effort here. Only have to put up 2 saves on 2 shots, so perfect saving percentage there. But having NRG here, man, 9 saves they had to put up in their net, and so much of it felt like, I feel like the shooting, the accuracy from G2 was just like, what is going on? This is all over the place, as they were not able to really put anything really. There were so many shots, but so few really meaningful ones.
Yeah, so few really meaningful ones, sure, but still a terrifying game 1 if you're NRG. I did not expect for 1 second to ever have them be under that amount of pressure, and that bodes well for G2, obviously, but there is, again, one small problem you're going to run into. You're playing NRG. And if there is any team that gets better as the series go on, it is going to be NRG. Rarely do 2 games ever look exactly the same or have anything remotely similar. They already know. It's like, okay, great. Well, here's why we lost, and it's going to be completely different game 2. So I would not expect another 16-1 or 16-2 shot differential in favor of G2 for the rest of the series.
Yeah, no, I expect to see an early goal from NRG here in game 2, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're taking the series or they're taking the game here, as we are having a little bit of a maintenance issue scene. We'll get into game 2 here in just a moment, get all the players back in the lobby, but it's yeah, NRG, I don't know. So we went back and watched the NRG series against Cloud9 last week, and Garrett G in particular struggled in just touching the ball. There was a lot of whiffs. I didn't particularly notice Garrett G struggling in that same way here in game number 1, but there definitely was a lack of general control. I believe this is the goal that gave them the lead, the only goal that happened in game number 1. Again, powerful play there from G2. But yeah, was there anything in particular you noticed here from NRG that you felt like was the reason they were unable to put up a power on offense?
Unable to put up a strong offense? I would say the biggest thing about it was nobody from NRG was ever able to have some sort of uncontested like transition. Sure, they might get like a challenge, right? That's off to the side. But I think G2 had a great spacing in the midfield. They had a good spread so that no matter if NRG tried to go left or right or down the middle, someone's always in their face. And that's generally something that will play well towards G2, because if you never let them out, you're great, right? And I really expected Justin to be able to deliver. Well, I guess Justin's, now that I'm thinking about it, Justin's biggest value is like converting the 1-on-1 or the 1-on-2 defenses back the other way. So maybe it's wrong of me to expect Justin to be faster and make some delaying touches. And maybe it comes down to, do they just get a strong enough clear? So perhaps I have too high expectations of a person who makes a case to be the best player in the world. But I don't know. I guess now that I think about it, it's just a well-played game.
Yeah, I feel like anytime your answer to what this team did wrong is that their star player wasn't bright enough, it's like, okay, no, there's definitely something else there, you know? Like, I'm excited to go back and rewatch that game and see, like, where was the problems. But when you only have 2 shots, when you're NRG and you're held to 2 shots, like, you're definitely struggling in the midfield somewhere. You're struggling to get the ball into reasonable shooting opportunities. You're not even getting the attempts on target. Shots are a very liberally handed out stat by the Rocket League API system, right? It'll give you anything that's kind of close to being a good shot will give you a shot. So the fact that they only got 2 there means there were so few decent opportunities here for NRG.
Oh yeah, so definitely you're looking for, at minimum, the challenge game to go up, because obviously there was 16 shots for G2. One of them goes in the back of the net. You said 8 of them were saved, 8 or 9 were saved, something like that from NRG, which leaves 8 unaccounted for, which means if I were to go back and watch it again, I bet you'd see a lot of shots coming from the side wall and just like challenges that sort of just go towards the goal and get registered, right? So I guess I would start with the wall challenges from NRG and make sure you get a firmer handle on those.
Well, we get into game 2, and NRG on defense once more. Justin makes a save here on an early shot. JNaps with a miss. Here comes Chicago, put on more pressure. Now Garrett G up this one to an empty backfield. It's wide. Turbo's gonna have to finish this one off, and he does so. There's that early goal from NRG. Now, can they hold on to it?
It's definitely a great question, but that's just G2 really trying to force the issue there and start off on the right foot in game 2, because the third man there going for that challenge against Garrett G was well and truly beat. And if you're going to play something that aggressive, you better come up with a touch, because if you don't, you get a free turbo goal back the other way.
4:25 on the clock. JNaps now looking for the first goal for G2, looking for that response. Garrett G lofts it. Turbo's up to try and see if he can find a block, but he's got to react here as JNaps sends a shot on target. JNaps and Justin clash here. Justin will come out on top. Now Turbo on the far end up against Chicago. Sends it very high. Justin and Garrett G try to adjust, but there's not going to be much they can do with that touch. Rizzo now back around. Turbo with a response onto the backboard. No one else from NRG up as they respect Chicago on the backboard. JNaps with a miss in the corner. JNaps in particular has had a few air balls this game. A few uncharacteristic whiffs as Turbo now. We'll see if he can set up Justin. There's through one, kind of traps behind Chicago. Now the pinch across to Turbo. They'll send it lateral. JNaps with a quick adjustment straight back to where Turbo touched it from. Demolition onto Justin. Well, Garrett and Turbo are going to have to play some solid defense. Justin backs up in net while Turbo and Garrett try to get this one out, but right now G2 starting to trap NRG in their own half.
Oh, but Justin, a couple of good challenges. Look, Chicago's so smart, he can understand which direction that ball's headed, and JNaps is right there for it. G2 will smoke him out. Chicago with a great read on which way the challenge is headed. Garrett G, there's the challenge game on the wall. If you're going for that, you gotta come up with something, because then it's out into the middle and JNaps will put it away.
All right, well, that was the JNaps who has had a few touches struggle here. He manages to get that goal. It looks like we were going to pause here. I believe Turbo was discussing earlier his home internet has struggled a little bit, so he's gonna make an attempt to see if he can rectify that situation so we can continue to play this game cleanly. But it was Justin and Garrett G there kind of on the defense. It wasn't Turbo that was the reason that goal was open and allowed in. Honestly, a solid shot from JNaps. I think very few people were blocking that.
Oh yeah, if there's a guy that you always want on the shooting side on G2, it's either going to be Chicago or JNaps. JNaps, brilliant put away guy. He's a what? We were just talking about this. Hang on. JNaps, wait. Where's the? See, this is the fun part about getting. This is the fun part about getting to work at home. You have 2 monitors. Okay. And so now that I have all the computer stuff up, I can be like, wait. There's cool things, and it's just you gotta find them.
You do have to find them. You have to have it all ready to go.
Yes, he just scored his 250th RLCS goal. That was 251.
Wonderful. Well done to him. He's had a good performance in game number 1. I feel like he struggled a little bit there at the beginning of game 2, but like you don't, I mean, like 2 whiffs, 3 whiffs don't count as like oh, this is a problem. Like the problem with Garrett G last week was it was the entire series, and you could definitely tell by the end in that game 3 against Cloud9 that he was burned. He didn't trust himself. He was missing easy stuff. It got worse as it went on. And I feel like JNAP's hitting that goal is important for keeping his mental in this game. And he will continue to be a threat on this field. The early mistakes, not going to matter at all because he's managed to score a goal for his team here.
Oh, definitely. It's a very easy thing to, it's an easy trap to fall into, right? It's like you miss like one like relatively simple touch, right? It's like, say you're going for an easy clear off the sidewall that you're just trying to punch the ball up the field. You don't really care about hanging on to possession, right? But you roll around the corner, and then for some reason or whatever, you just flip past the ball or you drive right under it, and you miss the clear completely, and you're like, well, okay, that happens. But that happens 2 or 3 times in a row. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to make sure I nail the next challenge. And then you miss the challenge again, and then a goal gets scored, and then you go, and you're tilted, right? And that's that
Yep.
That moment right there is when you have to stop yourself and say, it's fine, get it back. But the thing that happened for Garrett G last week was it just kept going down and down and down. He kept missing the ball over and over, and Cloud9 were right there to score every time. And it was just brutal.
No, and Cloud9 has been looking a lot better as today they have they've won both their games. I think we're going to take a look here at the matches that have happened so far. Cloud9 were able to take it in the reverse sweep over Sonics with the substitution of Fireburner. That was definitely the story of the day. And then taking on Ghost Gaming, who Gibbs definitely had being the better team in that particular matchup. And then United up against Pittsburgh. That one also went to 5. Quite a few fun matches, but definitely ending in what would usually be a clash of a number 1 and a number 2 squad at this point in the season. Right now, these teams sitting at 3 and 4, NRG and G2, looking to try and get the best seed they possibly can in the series. But yeah, no, things here. I think we're gonna have the Turbo connection back in time. And chat, I don't think we're gonna get Sizz just yet. But how crazy would that be, right?
Imagine the Sizz resub where he also puts up a 700-point game. But this is actually a fairly important game for NRG, right? Because since they've lost 2 games already, Space Station still at 5-1. If G2 win, they go to 6-1, and it's highly unlikely that they miss out on top 2, right? So NRG, if they lose this game, they fall to 5-3, which means there's a chance that they end up outside the top 4 and don't get a slice of that juicy extra 100K for making top 4, right? Yeah. So Sonics and Space Station feeling fairly secure, right? But NRG versus G2, I mean, yes, G2 looked a little shaky last week versus Ghost, but the win differential is not exactly in NRG's favor.
No, well, the one thing NRG does kind of have going for them is that their season is coming close to an end here. If they're able to get this win, they only face Ghost next week, where both Space Station and G2 both have a doubleheader. And man, G2's goes up against Sonics and Space Station. So like G2 goes through the gauntlet here at the end of their season, facing off against NRG, Sonic, and Space Station. So this is an important start for them on what could easily maybe be the easiest of the 3 series. I don't know. We'll find out as we get into the next series. But both goals will stand. And we will maintain all the same rosters on the field as we are ready to get back into game 2 here. Turbo off the wall. It's back up high. Justin plays it into the corner. Now, going for the air carry himself, JNAPS. Under 1, Turbo to the edge. Garrett G adjusts, looking for Rizzo's touch, and now will be up for this one by himself. Chicago quickly closes that gap. Was able to put it into the blue corner. Now JNAPS with an extension. Back around 1. They're just keeping it to this side the whole time.
And G2 got the wheel going, man. They're on both sides, left and right. You can't go anywhere. And look, they get the free punch, but where's Rizzo? Right there. So we're going right back at it one more time.
Garrett through to the double demolition. Momentary 2v2 on the field. Turbo and Justin try to work together to get that one back out, but again, Garrett had been demolished, so he wouldn't be there for the shot either way. And now Justin onto the backboard, stretches for it himself, nearly puts it in, but none of his team there for a follow-up. Everybody trusting Justin to be able to hit that double tap, and it's just barely wide of the goal. We'll stay tied up at 1 goal apiece. We're just under 2 minutes left in game 2.
Oh, great touch. And JNaps, quality defender in his own right. Obviously, everyone spends a lot of time talking about JNaps and the offensive performance, but he is a beast on the back line. And Chicago easily saved ball. And slowly but surely, G2 are trying to close the gap, but NRG starting to work towards that midfield line.
Oh, Turbo looked for the crazy redirect, but the defense from G2 will get this one all the way back into the blue corner. Now Chicago down through one. Justin up, but Chicago across, and JNaps will try to extend it back out to Rizzo. Up for the shot, double commit on defense, but it's back out to Justin, and he'll be able to get this one into the orange. Now Rizzo quickly falling back. Garrett G tries to keep this ball at midfield. As it's into the corner, JNaps looks for a crazy angle. Not going to find it, and Rizzo bumps Justin high. Turbo will deflect it around Chicago, which gives the ball to Garrett G. With 45 seconds left, we're still tied up. Both teams trying to finish it off here in regulation, and Chicago foot shoots far post, just barely bounces off the crossbar and back out. Over one, JNaps in the midfield will turn it around. Back up to Rizzo. He's got a full tank, looks for the carry, past Turbo, back into the corner. Chicago's out, and JNaps is up. Can he find this shot? Looks for the double tap. Justin will clear it away. 20 seconds left. Garrett G now through the air, looks for the flip reset and gets it underneath one, but JNaps has it off, and the shot was wide. Final 10 seconds. G2 knocking on the door. Back in front, Turbo Pulsa to the edge. Everyone on G2 falls back. JNaps lofts, and Rizzo up for the shot. It's too soft, and NRG should be able to handle this one just fine. They get it down, and we're into overtime. NRG needing to win this game.
Absolutely. I mean, say what you want, they can make the adaptions, but winning 3 straight against a G2 right now that's making you look like, you know, like you're second class compared to their offense. It's tough to win 3 straight.
There's a pass in. Rizzo takes the shot. It's just wide, and JNaps' second touch wasn't lucky enough. Here's Chicago back in. Rizzo up for a second round and can't put it in that time either. Now JNaps pushes it high. Chicago for round 3, blocked by Garrett G. All 3 players from NRG off to the corner, but Justin now up. Over to the side. And there's the long clear NRG needed. Can they make it count? Chicago gets just enough power before being demolished. Rizzo lofts Chicago. Takes flight. Garrett G now back down up against JNaps. Both players a little bit hesitant, but JNaps emerges with control. Now Turbo flicks high. Here comes Garrett. Beats Chicago in the air. Rizzo's going to fall back onto the backboard. You got to pass one, but there's Turbo. Long touch again. Turbo's touches have been so strong, but
what's in?
Wide of his team, but there's Justin to put it in. Rocking the new goal explosion, and that's NRG taking the win and tying the series.
And Chicago just trying to get a nice pinch, but Justin with a perfect read, and it took one counterattack. NRG playing defense again for most of the game, and they were diving left and right so much in this series. I mean, a lot of scramble defense from NRG, but they do just enough. They force the ball away from their net a few more times than they did in game 1 and give themselves a little bit of space to work with. And the one counterattack gets the job done in OT.
13 shots to 5 this time. A little bit more, kind of getting closer to even. NRG scores a few more. G2 scores a few less, or shoots a few less here. And only having to put up 7 saves from NRG. Still an extremely tough series, mainly in G2's favor. The counterattack, the breakout goal, the thing that defines the series here. So we'll go into game 3, still with NRG not looking strong, not looking like they have control in this series, and not looking like the team we watched win a world championship.
And here's the thing, I've figured out why G2 is doing great at boxing NRG in. It's because, one, they are winning the challenges, right? They're definitely winning that aspect, winning the ball towards that NRG corner. But they're sweeping the goal so much, and they're doing it so aggressively. They're constantly forcing that player in the NRG net, more often than not, it's Justin, to have to back all the way in right behind the posts. And he doesn't have time to go out and grab boost very often. So he's playing defense on the goal line with, you know, anywhere from 20 to maybe 30 boost tops at any given moment, and sitting at no speed. So he doesn't have the momentum to really go up and challenge the ball very often. It's that sweep of G2 that's making it so tough for NRG to get any purchase.
Well, and then when they do get onto offense, I feel like the touches they're making are strong, but just to kind of nowhere or too far over each other. There's not a lot of intentionality in their offensive control. So here comes G2. JNAPS tries to play it off the ceiling. Turbo's got a block. Now Garrett G up. Down towards Turbo.
So here he comes. They're trying to zone out Justin, force him to jump early, and they go for Garrett too, and there's that sweep, and NRG. That's the type of stuff that they've had to put up with this entire series.
It's Turbo. In the midfield. Chicago. Rizzo bumps him off. Justin still gets back around and makes the save. What a valiant effort on defense, and we'll stay scoreless in game 3.
Brutal. Tough save for Justin, but if anyone's going to hit it, he will, and he will not try and go for the double tap, but what?
Got lucky.
Into the net. Oh.
That was a close one. G2 think they're lucky stars. Garrett missed. The first minute will come and go, but not quietly. Both teams with opportunities to score. Garrett G versus Rizzo, a stalemate in the midfield. Rizzo will get the flick and JNAPS extends it towards the box. Now Justin playing high and fast. There's Turbo off the wall. He's up 4. 2 players commit. That leaves Garrett G alone as JNAPS comes in. Justin on the retreating D will take away ball control and then block any pass off that corner Chicago was trying to set up. But double commits galore for NRG as they continue to be haphazard and panicky in the midfield.
Definitely just trying to get a nice, strong touch and have everybody with enough boost to be able to at least finally go force G2 to back off a little bit. And they're trying to just keep the speed up and be aggressive, and that's leading to some of these. You see 2 players in the same spot, the double commits, but at the same time, they are finding the strong touches, so no harm yet.
Approaching halftime. JNAPS over 1. Rizzo, the good shot. 2 players up once more. Chicago wants to take an immediate shot, but he's just not quite in position, and the touch from the defense was just enough to make it difficult. Now Rizzo in the corner. Chicago will look to pass it. JNAPS doesn't get much of it, and the ball stays in the corner. Now Turbo back down towards Justin. He'll chase it himself, extend it into the midfield. Where's the rest of his team, though? The Chicago will just hold on to this one and push it over to the edge. Rizzo off the wall and now trapped. Off the corner, Garrett G up first, beats that midfield player from G2. Still, nobody on the scoreboard.
Ooh, it was actually a real smart play from Rizzo back in his own half, recognizing that demo was about to happen, and instead of trying to punch it up the field where it just goes to nobody, just take it on a dribble and see if you can win the challenge.
Chicago, the pass infield to JNAPS, the miss though. And what could have been the decisive goal of game 3. JNAPS will now look to set up his teammates. Again, a miss though, and just not reading these corners well. Chicago has to play defense on his own backboard. Keeps the ball high. Extension from Rizzo. Countered by Justin all the way back to the edge. Garrett G up against JNAPS, doesn't even go for it. JNAPS manages to make contact quickly. Chicago gets bumped by Garrett G, but not before he pushes it into the blue. And now Justin, one slow play will not matter. Chicago over the edge. Now Rizzo. Pass across to JNAPS. Over the top of 2 onto the backboard. And Chicago is nowhere to be seen. Garrett G, the long clear. Both teams playing a bit safe. Neither one to send the house. Justin looked for a shot but didn't make contact. And now, final minute of game 3. The winner will have match point. The best chance of staying in the top 4 in the North American region.
Ooh, Justin, big challenge, but in the name of securing the corner boost, not a bad play when you've been playing defense all series.
There's Garrett G through 1. JNAPS.
It's a sweep.
Can Chicago find it? He sure can. There was the demolition and goal. That's what they needed, and G2's got the lead.
Turbo pushed back into that goal. Can't find the bounce off the backboard. Open with the demo on Justin, and Chicago and JNAPS combined.
34 seconds left. NRG make it happen. Justin goes for the slow play. Underneath JNAPS. Garrett G out of the corner. Rizzo back down. Garrett G with a shot. JNAPS and Chicago both go for it, and Rizzo manages to gain control. Justin lofts. Turbo Pulsa passes. bump. Garrett G's shot is wide. Chicago was not in position. The bump was good, but the shot just not quite there. And the nightmare series for Garrett G continue with 5 seconds left. It's looking like game 4 is going to be G2's advantage as they look for the security. Chicago taps it in. 1 second left, this game's over.
Oh, Chicago, what a beautiful insurance goal. 30 boost, and he only needed about 15 to get all the way over to that one. What control.
1 second left. There's no way for NRG to score 2 goals. This one will go to G2, and as we go to game 4, they are 1 game away from improving to 6 wins on the season. My goodness, it's been a haphazard series, but G2's been able to scrape it out so far. We'll see if they can do it again.
And that margin shrinks smaller still, though. 7 shots to 4 for NRG, but at the end of the day, the pressure still there. G2 unrelenting in their offensive press.
The last shot, we'll take a look here at the go-ahead, or the winning goal, the final goal that happened. Beautiful mastery of mechanics and understanding exactly when he can take that shot and it wouldn't bounce off the crossbar. Chicago has this timing and this spacing down. He's just been in the situation enough times to know how to do it. But I gotta talk about that missed shot from Garrett G. The setup was so good. The bump was there. The pass was there. Chicago, he maybe could have dove for that. Like, there was technically one defender in a position that could have interfered with it, but still, the shot placement from Garrett G not on target. We talked about this one with the Knights series. Just putting the pressure on, force the defense to make the stop is what you have to do in that situation. And the shot was wide.
It was tough, though. I mean, Garrett did have to kind of come at it from outside. It's real tough to get back behind that ball and shoot it anywhere in towards the middle, let alone the near post. That's almost never going to happen. Really, his only shot option was the far post, and unfortunately just cut it a little too hard and got right on the outside of it. And when you've been on defense all game and you haven't, you know, you haven't even got the chance to warm up, so to speak.
Well, we'll see as Garrett G nearly finds a goal beginning of game 4. NRG now with their backs against the wall. Got to find a way to win 2 straight, and G2 has been so stingy. An opportunity there goes unused. It's Turbo Pulsa through 1. Chicago and JNAP's in the back. Now JNAP's up. Garrett G with 1 touch. Turbo Pulsa there. Justin to try and see if he can adjust on this one. Now Garrett G up for it. Actually puts it onto the goal, and Rizzo gets it away just slow enough that he was able to adjust. Now up against JNAP's. Go through 1. Justin now with an attempt. Chicago to JNAP's. Nice passing plays, but nothing that's immediately turning into a shot.
Turbo into his own corner, and here comes G2 one more time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've been in this NRG corner for 15 minutes now, and we're going back again.
They just constantly, they understand that the clear game just has not been super strong. Garrett G trying for the solo play once more. JNAP's not really in a good position. Turbo with an attempt, but the block comes out of net and gets it away. NRG better and better pressure. And you mentioned at the end of that game that the shot differential has been slowly evening itself out more and more as each game goes by. Right now, 5 shots for NRG, none for G2, as NRG has had a lot of control here in the opening minute and a half.
But does it convert? Rizzo out to the side, and how do you get this one middle?
JNAP's tries out of his corner. Chicago with a touch pass, Garrett. Turbo's got to extend this one around. Rizzo was lurking for it, but Justin gets it away. Now Garrett G looking for the most epic soft touch of his life. Justin's contact is just past Turbo. Back down this one to Chicago instead of to Justin, though. JNAP's up against Turbo, plays to the corner. Justin out of his own back third, looks for the dribble.
That's actually a much-needed clear. There's where the air dribble is most valuable. On defense, buying time, getting space, beating that midfield defender, getting everyone set. That's when it's at its most effective at top level, in top-level Rocket League, excuse me.
Which is the thing that made it so exceptional. Oh, is Garrett G going to find this touch? He nearly got one. And Justin keeps this one competitive, but Turbo too far back. Justin in the corner. Try to set it up to his teammate. Now past 1. Garrett G might be in the area. Can he find the shot? He'll have a free touch. Plays it to the corner. Garrett G again with the cross.
NRG starting to chomp down those corner boosts.
They're trying to, but G2, man, they've just stayed up. They've stayed aggressive, and they constantly, in their own half, are getting the first touch. And they're constantly airborne before NRG can even challenge. With 2:03 on the clock, G2, they're looking for that go-ahead goal. Ooh, and they can just hunker down on defense.
This is tough, though. NRG, now they're all the way at the midfield line consistently, but does the offense have it in them? It's been a little spotty here in the series, bounce mid, and to be fair, they also really haven't had many, like, quality goal-scoring opportunities. It's just been NRG being on offense.
Oh, is it in?
What?
It's in
What?
from Turbo. Just from the midfield, an air ball just kind of lobs itself in. Rizzo and Chicago could not quite team up on that, and Turbo saw an opportunity.
Yeah, Chicago absolutely lost the race, and the greater sin was JNaps on the ground, not realizing he lost it, started pushing forward, and then it's over his head.
G2 now with a need to break out. They've only gotten one shot so far. Here will come a second one, and Chicago just absolutely pounds it. Equalizer immediately following the first goal.
Long pass, Chicago. Rizzo wins the ball cleanly, and oh, in the middle, Justin took it away from Garrett. I mean, obviously Justin has to jump at that ball. He doesn't exactly know where his teammate is behind him, and it's kind of right at him, it looks like. So he's got to jump at it, but unfortunate for NRG.
Now Rizzo shuts down Justin, looks for Garrett, and just like that, G2 is back in this. Off the back wall, over the top of Rizzo. JNaps' shot is just wide. Justin out of the edge. Garrett G will pick up control, beats two players as Rizzo's quickly retreating here, gets bumped heavily, but JNaps emerges with control out of that corner, gives it back down to Chicago, quickly moves across the field to try and find the soft touch. It would have been good for a goal had he found the crazy oblique angle. 45 seconds left, tied up at one apiece. G2 needing one to take the win.
Oh, man.
Off the corner, JNaps there. Shot just bounces off the corner. Now the counterattack from Justin.
Gosh.
It's all the way down. The howitser's good, and with 33 seconds left, NRG's got the lead.
He spawned in the perfect spot. He literally spawned, and the ball was like a perfect pass onto his nose. Oh, my Lord. Oh, wow.
One flip was all it took. And NRG's got life. Can they hold on? JNaps to Rizzo. Extension to the corner. Chicago further develops it there, but Justin emerges with control. Rizzo shuts him down. 20 seconds left. G2 needing to find a way through, and Turbo says not today. The goal security comes through. 15 seconds left, and NRG's up by 2.
Not today. Chicago stalemates the ball. JNaps floating into the corner. Unfortunately, it bounces towards the middle. It's over his shoulder. And Garrett G has the much easier approach. Is there first. Or Turbo, excuse me, is there first. And that is goal secured and more than likely the end of the game. 15's not a lot, but it could happen. They score like now.
No, it's in the ball's trapped in their own corner. Here comes maybe a
And
fourth goal. Yes, they'll get it. That one definitely ends the opportunity. 3 seconds left. NRG come to life in the waning moments. A bit of an RNG spawn, the only RNG element in all of Rocket League.
Wow.
And it works in their favor. They get the win here in Game 4 and achieves. We're going to Game 5.
I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. The option or the opportunity for your Season 8 World Champions to rally back from, quite frankly, a brutal first 3 games. Sure, they won Game 2, but it was not easy. And Game 3 looked like more of the same from Game 1. But to come out here and get the shot differential in their favor and talk about getting a little lucky with that shot from Justin that was just deposited onto his car. And he turned it into a boomer of a goal. You can't ask for anything better than that.
And then the dribbles, an excellent touch there from Garrett to give Justin the opportunity to get a 4th goal, pad his stats a little bit. And with that win, man, we're going to be going to Champions Field. And I feel like there's just got to be something special for Turbo playing on Champions Field. The banners in the rafters have all the names of the previous RLCS World Champions. And of the 8 banners, Turbo is on 4 of them. Justin and Garrett G also there. Everyone on G2 still looking for that first win at the World Championships. They got there in Season 7. They got to the Grand Finals, but couldn't manage to finish it off. And man, yeah, I feel like there's just got to be a little bit of an energy advantage here for NRG going in. An energy advantage for NRG. I hate myself. It's okay. Let's see if they can do it here in Game 5.
No, I think you're absolutely right. You know, when you guys, when you're Turbo, I mean, you walk on a Champions Field and go, yeah, I win here.
Yeah.
And if you're
this is
Justin,
his house.
Yeah, you've scored basically, at this moment, the peak goal of Rocket League with 2 of these guys on the pitch. Oh, actually, 3 of these guys on the pitch were there for that goal. I think you're definitely right. It's not very often I'll ever say, you know, the in-game atmosphere is going to feel good to people, but Champions Field is a special place for these guys.
We'll see how they do. Game 5. We've seen G2 of old. The kryptonite was always, can we take a team to Game 5? We'll beat them there. But Justin looks for the taps. He got the air carry, couldn't quite get the double tap as Rizzo breaks up his hopes and dreams. Now JNAPS into this corner. Justin caught on the wall. Managed to get 1 touch out, but still not much of anything as G2 stays up on offense. Chicago looked for some defenders, didn't really find much of anything. The soft touch from Rizzo gives Garrett G a nice just lob, and he'll crank this one all the way to the backboard. Now Chicago up, Justin's got it back out. Turbo pulls his airborne, no one's home. Can he double tap it in by himself? Oh, the soft touch to catch all the defenders. No goal. They do manage to adjust. It would have been brutal. The shots continue to rain in, though. NRG is playing hot now in Game 5.
Yeah, I think Turbo just mis-executed the double tap, got dipped the nose a little too far through the softball.
Oh, no! Is it in? Oh, what a save! Oh, Turbo looked for it. I thought it was going to bounce in on the most brutal of dunks. But not today. I'm getting lightheaded from that one. 3:30 on the clock. Yeah. Garrett G. I love
another one.
Yeah, I love Garrett G. He's just firing. He's like, I'm tired of trying to make these precise shots. Let's just force the defenders to get up. And maybe get loud because it's game day. Turbo looks for another attempt here, gets 2 to bite. Chicago gets a carry. Garrett G stops him. Is Justin in for the shot? No! They tried to make it happen, but Rizzo had him red. And NRG playing like a different team right now. Constant pressure. And again, they have 6 saves already, or 6 shots already. Here's the first shot from G2, and it's no good. Garrett G will deny it.
And they went for that sweep play again. They pushed Garrett G into the back of the goal, and he just drove off the top and made the perfect save.
He's an absolute monster. This one goes onto the backboard, and Justin gets in time. Garrett G looks for the crazy shot. Oh my goodness, what a play! And that gives them the lead.
What was that about? Forget the finesse? No, man, look at that.
What?
Look at that.
Oh. I mean, here's the thing. Like that shot, he has no pressure to hit it, right? If he misses, it's like, yeah, of course you missed that shot. And there's also no defenders back. So I feel like that's the moment he's going to shine. And it's just the most ridiculous thing I've seen all day. It might be enough to give him the win. We'll see how they do. Here comes Rizzo trying to change fate. JNAPS is up for the far side. An excellent place shot. And we are all tied up.
They get it going off the kickoff here. Chicago just drops this into the middle, and 2 people up. Turbo has to freeze because, you know, there's cars falling all over in front of him just to try and get a sense of where it's coming. JNAP spots the open window, throws it right through.
Shot placement. The 2 players maybe had a few whiffs this series. Lighting it up right now. Chicago up. Justin to the edge. JNAPS back down. Turbo now with an extension to Justin. He'll look to pass it over the top of Rizzo. Goes for the bump on Chicago. Holy cow, he's back, folks.
Justin, what an air carry with space. Short hop. Goodbye, Chicago. Oh, we're back.
Oh, my goodness. Feels like Champions Field all over again for Season 8. As he bops that one, the meteors rain. And NRG, do they get a kickoff goal? No, you're kidding me. They've got a 2-goal lead now.
Turbo Pulsa, the deep man on the kickoff, follows Garrett G, and Rizzo's late, and Turbo just cuts it.
I'm sorry, that's a garbage cheat up from Rizzo. Like, you're so far off. With Turbo he can do that so easily, and the shot placement from Turbo is important there. But still, like, he just hesitated. He wasn't certain if what he wanted to go for. He couldn't read the kickoff. Turbo absolutely bamboozles him.
But they get it back.
Now JNaps, though. Dude, JNaps doesn't want to lose this game. Oh, my goodness.
Chicago, a great bit of command here in the midfield, and Justin takes another ball away from his teammate that could have been safely deposited into the corner, and G2 jump all over it.
My goodness. 155, and definitely the most exciting game of the series so far. And you wouldn't want any other way, the final one. My goodness, Chicago has been passing like a monster.
His 99th assist in his career right there.
Looking for 100. See if he can get it here. They're gonna need one more. They want to beat NRG. Turbo pulls the pass one. Now up against JNaps, pass two. Back to Garrett G. The shot is high. No, it's bouncing it in. Garrett G scores the 4th one here, and they're up by 2 again.
What's that word you say, Wavepunk? Howitzer? This was what?
Howitzer.
Bang.
So the howitzer is about length. It's about the long arcing shot. That was just like the blast. That was a battleship right in front of oh man.
I got you.
I don't know. It's pretty crazy though. It was an absolute banger. Here comes Rizzo. Over one, a trap from Garrett G. JNaps into the corner. Chicago's gonna try and crowd him here. Justin beats it. Now back down up against JNaps. Turbo Pulsa just takes the shot again. I love this aggression from the midfield. 105. There's Rizzo onto the backboard. Garrett G will hold this down. Chicago's going to try and challenge it, but Garrett G, an absolute monster flick to keep that one so lofted. And here's Justin with the security. NRG, they looked so weak at the beginning. You just couldn't think that there was a way they were going to come back against G2, but look at them now.
Brutal. Normally, JNaps would come up with at least a neutral ball there in the midfield against that challenge coming down over his head. But unfortunately, Justin coming across. Justin is, honestly, he's been playing like the biggest ball chaser ever in the past couple games. He's done some good, he's done some bad, but more often than not, it's been good. And he turns in a big put-away goal right there.
Man, JNaps trying to do his best. And all of G2 putting up a valiant effort and really forcing NRG to play their best game, but they awoken the beast. And with 30 seconds left, down by 3, unless they get some absolutely crazy goals, this one, NRG can advance to 6 wins. Justin's up. Play over the edge. Garrett G's got to rotate around, let Turbo make the move. Justin comes in as well, just crowding this corner. They're just stalling this ball. Forcing it. Oh, Justin's going to steal the goal. He actually blocks it. Honestly, you know, burn the time down. It's already over. NRG, what a play. What a finish. And what a conclusion to our North American League play here for this week. Oh, good job, Chicago. Doesn't matter, but good job. Good goal.
Good job, Chicago is right. GG's given. Garrett G misses, Justin out of position. But at the end of the day, who cares? NRG will win 2 straight to knock off G2, and now you got 4 teams at the top of North America at 6-2.
I can't believe it. That was they scored 2 goals in the first 3 games, and then they scored 9 in games 4 and 5. That's insane. These guys, absolute monsters there. And Garrett G, welcome back, man. He had a rough week last week, and here concludes it with 2 goals, an assist, a save, and 6 shots. Had a wonderful performance there. Every single one of them hitting the bank. Justin hit the same goal he scored against KDOP in the Season 8, where he goes up, gets the carry, and then bumps him out of the way. Yeah, oh, that was insane. Yeah.
It was a beautiful air dribble from Justin. A great Game 5 from NRG. And, you know, we said it back right after Game 1 finished. It was the 16 shots to 2. And then as it went on, the margin slowly, and then bang, back the other way. NRG crushed them.
You don't give them time to come back into it. It was lose it. Isn't it weird when it's like losing Game 2 was where you screwed up? That was, you needed to win the first 3. Given NRG time to come back into the series. I mean, that's what Cloud9 did, man. They swept them. That was the only way it seems that maybe you can beat NRG here. But well done. What a performance there. What a series. I can't wait to hear the reactions on the desk. Let's go back to Leaf the boys.